What's going on, everybody? We are back. The OndeckTV
podcast. It's the OndeckTV podcast. I am Spike Lou. Not the same voice in the beginning. Mr. Mxtra, introduce yourself a little earlier than usual.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mxtra, the Minister of Culture, is in the building.
In the big boy seat this week. No Animal Brown. We do have a special guest to keep the three-way going. Pause. What's up, Nick?
What's going on? It's your boy Nicki Dusse, a.k.a. Mr. No Disrespect.
How are you guys doing today? It's episode 319 of the OndeckTV podcast. My social media is I am Spike Lou.
I am MXTRA3 on all things social media.
Fantastic.
And you can find me at WESISI number 11 on IG and Twitter.
Perfect. So I know you guys are probably wondering, first episode without Animal Brown. He has some stuff to take care of. He's going to be straight, though, so y'all wish him the best out there. We'll see you soon, brother. So we're filling in. Guys, how was your weekend? Mxtra, what'd you have up?
My weekend started off great Thursday. The Philadelphia Eagles beat the Packers of Green Bay.
The Falcons played?
No, Philadelphia Eagles.
Gotcha.
Animal Brown, he knows what's up. That's probably one of the reasons he's ducking this week.
Oh, yeah, y'all went on a date. I forgot.
I
forgot you guys went on a date. Yeah,
we did check it out at a bar.
That's cute.
No date.
Aww.
Yeah, but it was a great game. So my weekend started off well.
Okay.
After that, I didn't do too much of anything else other than just work this weekend.
Yeah, you work? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Multiple streams.
That's always fantastic. Mr. No Disrespect, Nick, tell them a little bit about yourself, a little preview to why you're here, and also tell us what you did this weekend, sir.
You know me, I'm just a well-known up-and-coming shit talker like
of course,
y'all. So,
of course.
yeah, I'm all over Dead End Network as far as Dead End Sports, Frames Per Second, which is a movie and film review podcast that I help host as well.
Nice.
And I got my own podcast, No Disrespect, where it's just the unfiltered conversation between me and my homies.
Mr. No Disrespect, we did a podcast together about the Kaepernick and Jay-Z thing not too long ago. That was really dope. So we appreciate you, sir.
No problem.
I am Spike Lou. This weekend I really did my usual, nothing. Loved every second of it. Did watch a new show, though, as I do. Have you guys seen The Boys on Amazon?
Yeah, you might be late on that one.
I'm late on that.
You late on
that shit. Okay, I won't say it's good.
I haven't seen it,
but it's all right. Yeah. I was pleasantly surprised.
You had low expectations going in.
I was expecting Black Lightning.
Oh, hell no.
That's exactly what I was expecting. I thought that was going to be Black Lightning, bro. And it's all right. Like, the acting good. The storylines, like, keep you in. I was like, oh, shit, this slick good.
Yeah,
so,
they're nerding out over here.
Yeah, we are.
We don't know.
Yeah, you might like this, though.
Mountain, man. I thought you...
I did not go to Stone Mountain. You're absolutely right.
Being lazy.
Yeah, I mailed it in Sunday.
Get off that couch, man.
I mailed it in Sunday. I ain't
show
gonna
called
lie.
The Boys.
You're right. Probably why my Cowboys lost, which is another story.
That was a great cap off to my weekend that the Cowboys lost.
Of course it was. America's team that everybody loves to hate.
America's team ain't won since you were in elementary school.
Yeah, all right, let's get into it. So we're here for hip-hop, and we're going to do that. Of course, Animal Brown would skip out when we're talking about all of his faves. Everybody made the rundown this week. So we can start with Drake. Drake here recently, last Friday, it seems as if he's on the bad side of someone in L.A. Drake pulled up to the OVO shop, and he sees in graffiti there, "Leave L.A." Leave L.A. on his OVO, spot, OVO clothing store. So he had some issues, and they're investigating as to what's going on. My question to you guys is this, and Mxtra, I'll start with you. Should the sixth God be worried with all the stuff that we see as far as violence and rappers and that as far as being in L.A.?
Worried? No.
Should he be worried? Okay.
Shouldn't be worried at all. This is just some peasant trying to... just destroy something that's not his. I mean, this happens all the time. Just people do it for clout these days.
Okay.
As you say, Drake shouldn't be worried. I wouldn't be worried
Wouldn't
at all.
worried. Okay.
No. I mean, we'll just, we have security. We have cameras. I'm sure they'll take the proper precautions going forward. So I wouldn't worry at all, no.
Okay.
No, I don't think he should be worried. However, LA, it seems like they really are making sure they're being the gatekeepers of who they allow in and allow out as far as culturally. Okay. As you can see, when LeBron came to LA, he had a bunch of murals come through, and then they slandered all of them.
They pissed all over.
Exactly. So I
true.
think with Drake, I don't know. I don't think LA really as far as the real city of LA really embraces everything that he brings to the table. So They may be just dictating about who they really allow in.
I think it's just some punk kid. Man.
So you just think this is a random thing, and you think it may be LA culture as far as people that are down and riding with LA. I feel like Drake been in Calabasas for years. So I say that to say,
is Calabasas LA?
I mean, this is LA as he gonna get. Like this is LA as Drake going, in my opinion.
The biggest star in the world. LA should be happy to have him.
But what I would say is, I don't think this is a big deal. I wouldn't be worried about this if I were Drake. If I was Drake team, partly because you said he's the biggest star in the world. He got enough money to hire enough security. What I would be worried about though is a trend of, usually when you're at the top of the game, the fans love you, right? And there was no rapper that, like, J. Cole didn't do this. Kendrick Lamar didn't do this, right? So you would think that a fan favorite like Drake doesn't run into these issues. So from an aspect of being protected, no, I'm not worried about that at all. But from an aspect of the tide turning and the new generation coming in, people like to say now that Drake is a, what do they call it, a culture. I won't call it a culture vulture, but when he goes in and he take the young kids style, it was just a legend. He did that when he got on stage with, what's your boy that he just got on stage with? Y'all know Lil Keed. Yeah. So they're saying that Drake is, he hanging around these younger kids trying to soak up their style. Right. That being said, is there something to say about the generational turn that may be happening to Drake?
Nah.
Is he a fan favorite or an industry favorite?
He's a fan favorite.
Because
I don't think he's an industry favorite. I would argue and say that most people in the industry probably don't like him.
I was about to say.
I mean, I would disagree because of like everything that it seems like he's like in that Jay-Z role. If he pushed the button or if he co-signs something, it goes off in the industry, as opposed to other hip hop artists who try to do certain things and they don't always get the stamp of approval of everything. But I'm saying the reason why I asked that question is because I feel like the people that you mentioned, like a Cole and the Kendrick, I feel like their fan base is way more appreciative and active than Drake's. I feel like Drake's is more of a fly-by-day, fly-by-night type of fan where he's just because he's hot right now, that's the only reason why you really riding for him.
His friends are front runners.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like he has both though. See, that's what makes Drake such a huge star. He has those fans and he has his core fans. Because you have core fans who will defend some trash that Drake puts out.
Yeah.
One of them usually sits in his seat.
Of course.
So he has, and that's what makes him the biggest star because he has both of those kind of fans. See, Cole and Kendrick, they have their core fans, they don't have front running fans. Drake gets front running fans, the women, younger kids, his songs people can dance to. So he has all of those fans, and that's why he's a big star in rap right now.
Okay. To answer your question first, and then I want to address something that you said. I don't think that he's an industry favorite for the sense of people like him. I think that people don't want to miss out. So if Drake does something, the artist is going to be like, oh, let me hop on this. I don't want to be the motherfucker that turned down the Drake verse and went 10 times platinum.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so I feel like that's why people mess with him, and they do it maybe with a hesitancy to it. Like, I don't really want to do it, but I know this is going to be a hit. I do think that. Now, as far as the front-running fans, I do think it's becoming popular for Kendrick fans to be front-runner. I've heard more this year than ever that Kendrick Lamar is in the top 5, period, rapping. He has 3 classic albums. I'm consistently hearing, is it 3 or 4? Counting Section 80, people will say 4. I think that's kind of front running. I think he still got a little bit more work to do, but the narrative is picking up that he is that now. So I would say people front run for Kendrick now too.
Not as much as Drake.
Okay, that's fair. All right. So we done with that? Y'all done with that? No more Drake talk?
No more Drake talk. I know people like to extend Drake talk, but I'm not one of them.
I'm fine.
Short and sweet with Drake.
That
A lot
unscathed.
of Drake hate comes. I got to defend Hannibal Brown's man in here.
There ain't no hate.
Y'all act like Drake ain't that nigga, man. He's that nigga.
I think 100% that nigga. And
yeah, I mean, let's not get it twisted.
I think this is the beginning of the end of Drake.
Oh,
that's
man.
what I agree with Nick.
You sound like Matt Kellerman on First Take about Tom Brady. He said it 2 years ago.
He's in the same place that Marvel is as far as like y'all might have already hit y'all
reboot.
Peak. Yeah.
You don't know about the reboot for Drake.
I don't know if this is.
It's
I'm sorry. They were referencing Marvel Comics, another nerd situation going on.
I'm just talking about the movies and stuff. I'm just saying like you had a good decade run.
Yeah.
Can you do it again?
That's
what everybody wants.
The Drake reboot is going to be crazy.
Well, can he do it again for 10 more years?
If he do it for 5, he'll go down as one of the greatest, if not the greatest ever.
Just 5 more?
Yeah, he can.
Is
what other rappers done it for 15 years straight?
No, I get that. I'm just saying, like, I don't think he can do another 5.
Well, you sound like you hoping he can't do it another.
No. I'm just saying. I'm just looking.
I don't think it's hope. I think the signs are there.
People are really looking back.
I'm not saying that he's gonna fall off or anything like that, but he's kind of scared too. He hanging with the youngsters trying to catch that vibe. Yeah, you got to catch that vibe. Like, Drake is a machine. So if I'm out of the loop for 3 months, then I got to go to the lab and hang with these youngsters. I'm starting to lose it a little bit. Like,
he's always done this throughout his career.
True.
So
will it help this time?
Yeah.
All right. Moving on.
Yes. The weekend has come and gone.
Okay.
And no new Kanye Jesus is King album. I mean, he did a
small
show.
victories that count.
Oh, yes. God. He did a show in Chicago, announced an IMAX movie that is forthcoming. That will a movie which will accompany the album. And also says that Kanye is done with secular music. He's not doing popular music anymore. Is that good or bad for Wake Up, Mr. West?
Yeah, listen, it's a bad thing. And it's a bad. Well, actually, no. I'm sorry. I misspoke. It's a good thing that he said he's not doing secular music. Because here's what Kanye West is.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, because Kanye West is the ultimate hype beast, right? Like it doesn't help him anymore to just release music. Okay. Kanye West is the god of the spectacle generation, right? So if I'm just going to be doing music, the last time Kanye West just did music and there wasn't a lot accompanying that music was My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. People would argue that that's the best album of this decade. Mm-hmm. But it took everything else that went with it afterwards to make Kanye West a bigger star. So I think in Kanye West's head, he's like, I can make the best music possible. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is an example of that. Mm-hmm. But it's still not going to get me the level of fame that I thought that I would have coming into this. Kanye West said in the beginning what he wanted to be. Even before the Walt Disney shit, even before the I'm Albert Einstein of this generation, he always said, I want to take it beyond rap. I want to be this.
And he's done that.
He has. And I think in order to do that, saying I leave secular music alone, which is popular music in general, that's what it is for people that are wondering. Saying I leave popular music alone, taking it to the church, that's the #1 market in America. America was built on Christianity. So for him to continue to rise to the ascension that he wants to be as a mega star, not even just musically, that's a step in the progression that you would take.
I think this. So you think it's a PR stunt?
Yeah, everything he does is a PR stunt. Yeah. Like everything.
I don't think this is. I don't think it's in any way, in no shape or form that Kanye is done with secular music. I'm not buying it.
Does he mean?
Wait. Why? Why not?
Because he's going to have to be a part of so much in the rap game. I mean, because his name is attached to rap.
But
he's gonna have to be a part of. He got to push the album coming. How can you produce an album?
That's what I was about to ask.
A nigga selling cocaine, and you talking about, I don't want to do secular music anymore. You're a part of this.
Exactly.
But that's why I say it's just a publicity stunt. Like, he's gonna say that.
Right. So you prove my point that he's not done with secular music.
Well, making it himself.
You think he's finished?
Yeah, because it's not a big enough high for him anymore, dude. Everything that Kanye West do is based off the fame. Like, I feel like that he's a genius musically. Probably one of the best musicians of our generation, hands down. But I don't feel like that's enough for him. Like, he has to find a bigger high. Like, if you really think about it, Kanye West created the viral moment with George Bush hates black people. Then he continued on with the Taylor Swift. Unintentionally, yes, yeah. But it goes into his brand and what he's built, and that the feedback that he's looking to receive. Like, when I say George Bush don't like black people and millions of people respond, that's a high that I'm trying to reach continuously now. So I can't do that no more with My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, because as good as it was, the most uproar that I remember that people talking about it was the cover. Like, I don't remember a lot surrounding that album coming to, even when it came out, people was like, yeah, it's dope. It's a fire album, 5 mics in the source, cool. So what? Every album after that, Yeezus, whatever else came after that, all of them had to do with spectacle. I'm George Bush. I'm trying to, not George Bush. I'm Walt Disney. I'm trying to push my clothing brand. They're boxing me out. Houseway. Everything else contains spectacle to it, and he's continuously trying to reach that spectacle.
I disagree. I think Kanye isn't. I think he is strategic in most ways, but I don't think he is as strategic as y'all think. Okay. Just for the fact of Kanye say a lot of dumb shit, and he moves in a way where you question him a lot. I just think he has a team that's well equipped enough to kind of like catch him before he falls.
He's sporadic.
For everything he says, all right, let's find a way to curve this or market this and angle this. I think right now he's just in an interesting point of his career because he's always known as that guy who reinvents himself. Like every 2-3 years, he's doing something different. He's doing a different project. He's in a different mindset.
Right.
As you mentioned with the My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, that was after Yeezus. So I feel like that was a
before
correction.
Yeezus, wasn't it?
That was after. Because Yeezus came out. I mean, not Yeezus. Love Like what was it? 808s on Heartbreak.
Oh yeah, that was after.
Yeah,
I was about to say.
So, so like
It's
that.
like, Nick, you gotta go, bro. So, like, show over.
No, I'm just saying, but like that was after backlash from that, and he had to correct himself. That's why he did that. He was like, let me do the perfect hip hop album for y'all, just so y'all get off my back, and let me do my own thing again. So I think right now he's just in a spiritual moment, and he's taking that to the fullest extent.
I think My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy was his own thing. It was something that we've never heard before, and it's everything that Kanye wanted to do.
But look though, it was still rap.
Yeah, it's rap.
It was more rap than anything that he put out after that, and the album that he put before that.
Pablo had nothing but rap on it.
Oh, shit had a Christian intro like that.
But it was nothing but rap on the album.
But okay, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is more of a traditional rap album than that album. Would you say?
No.
Nah, they about the same.
Yeah.
Right.
As far as rapping goes.
Yeah, it just depends on what kind of rap
Yeah.
listener you like. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like you like some people may like the beats and the lyrics in My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy over Life of Pablo.
But the spectacle with that was I'm continuously changing the album. You can log into iTunes tomorrow and there may be another song on there I may have changed.
I mean, that's not a big deal, man.
It is because no one had ever did it before.
I mean, no one's done it before, but I'm saying I don't think it's a spectacle. It was just.
But that proves my point. Every time that he does something post then My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, I feel like what he did was I did as good as I can do musically. And then the album is damn near perfect. And that didn't give me the return.
So you think he's quitting rap because he's not good at it anymore?
I think that he's not getting the return on investment as far as feedback from music. Like he had people come to Hawaii and he leaked out all this information about My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. We rented out the whole hotel. There was these super exclusive recording sessions. And I say that to say it was a great album, like I said before, and he just didn't get the return. None of the albums post then.
You just said it.
None of the albums post then musically have been that good, but he's gotten a bigger return from the audience because of the spectacle surrounding it. I think that's what he's chasing.
Is it because of the spectacles or the experimentation with those albums?
The experimentation is spectacle though.
No,
like if I know that I can make great music like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, why am I making Yeezus?
Because you want to challenge yourself. He's an artist.
Yeah,
you challenge.
That's artist evolve.
And that's the reason why I feel like he's going to this Jesus is King lane, because he's like, what else can I do in rap that I haven't? That I haven't already done. Let me do something.
Say this when Michael Jordan went to go play baseball.
Yeah,
like I'm great at basketball. Why am I taking time out in the middle of my career when I'm at my prime to go play baseball?
Because you want to challenge yourself. He won 3 championships back to back, and he was like, I'm good. Yeah. I did everything I could in the league. So let me go do something else in another league to see if I can be as great as that. And he found out he wasn't, and then he came back and he did his thing.
I just think it's part of his artistry. I mean, maybe he woke up one day and it was like he got hit with the spirit and he wanted to challenge it through music. We can't discredit that.
Yeah, we can't act like
Kanye. You can discredit it if it's Kanye West because he's shown time and time before that he's full of shit. Call a spade a spade. So if y'all want to dance around it, then y'all can. But
I'm not dancing around.
He's saying time and time again, we know what this is about, man. Like it's about attention for him. So if I can get the most attention from people saying that I'm only going to do Christian
music, he's a musician. That's the whole point of the whole being in that career field is to get attention.
He's bigger than a musician, though. He said, "I'm bigger than that, right?"
Well, he is.
Okay, and this is him trying to prove it.
No, I don't think he has to prove anything, man. Kanye can quit music altogether today and he'll go down as one of the greatest.
That's true, but he still has to prove.
What does he have to prove?
He has to prove that he can still draw like he does every time.
I think he has to prove to himself that he can do other things.
He
like
has to
mixing.
Prove to other people that the investments are worth it.
It's Kanye West. Like he like he said, he probably jumped over the Jumpman with his Yeezus line. Like everything he touches, it gets a lot of attention. It makes a lot of money. It becomes a part of the culture. We talk about it all the time. Like niggas still buying them grandfather shoes just because it got a Kanye West logo on it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think that right now, I'm very interested, and I was kind of disappointed that the album didn't drop because I heard
it wasn't dropping.
Well, I heard a lot of people talk. Even Chris Platt. Yeah, Chris Platt was talking about it. And I want to hear what direction he's going in because it sounds like it's a Kanye West production with just gospel music, which sounds fire as far as the theory.
It sounds fire.
Yeah, because you remember back in the day with KIRK Franklin.
You have to understand he doesn't listen to gospel music.
Oh yeah,
that's first off, and I don't listen to Kanye West.
Secondly, KIRK Franklin back in the day had
gospel
the whole
music is jamming.
He had the whole club rocking.
Stop.
Yeah. You just have your qualms about Kanye West, and that's fine.
I do.
That's fine, and it's indicative in your responses. That's fine.
And he's a heathen, so that plays.
Yeah, you're definitely a heathen for not liking gospel music.
All of these are true. I'm not arguing any of these facts.
Yeah.
But to my point, Kanye West is doing this for spectacle.
I mean, a spectacle is.
That's what he get off on. Like all I want people to understand from my point of view is he gets off on everything else.
But how is it a spectacle? A spectacle is a visually striking performance or display.
That's what that is.
Yeah, for his album.
Nah, not
That's
for his album.
That was for an album. That was for Pablo.
Man,
Everybody's
they
trying
just
to
happen to use that for the album.
Everybody's trying to be more creative.
him.
They try to be more creative with their album rollouts.
Yeah.
And if anything, he's been the most creative person of the last decade with album rollouts.
Yeah, you cannot deny that.
So the spectacle is his album rollout.
That's not a spectacle.
That is a spectacle,
Which part of his album rollout? You talking about going to churches?
Your pre-album at churches is nasty.
Yeah.
Like, come on,
But
bro.
you using spectacles in a negative term.
Is he selling merch at the? It is.
But it's not. But
He's giving out the merch.
He's giving the merch away.
He's not.
I heard they were selling some merch.
You heard they were. I heard they were giving them out.
No, they were selling it. That's what he's doing it for.
I heard that.
Is it any different than your pastor at your church asking for a collection?
That's cool. That's his job.
Oh my God.
He let it be known. Anybody. We can get on to that in another podcast, but anybody that is good at their job, if pastors want to drive Bentleys and they can afford them, why shouldn't they?
Oh, that's ridiculous. That's a whole different conversation.
You
don't get me started on that.
They can afford it. They can afford it.
Driving Bentleys, but your congregation can't pay the light bill.
Hey, man, that's on the congregation for giving the money, man. But look, what we're going to do is move on to the breakout star, Lil Nas X. Lil Nas X over the weekend announced that he had enough. He's tired. He's beat. He's wore out. Lil Nas X is taking the next couple of tour festivals off. He said he has run amok. He's too tired to do stuff. My questions to you guys: do you think that new artists burn themselves out making a name for themselves nowadays?
I don't think the majority of new artists do, because first of all, new artists have not had the success of Lil Nas X. So you have to understand his grind has been that of 10 times of any other new artist. Because his song was multiple weeks at number one. He's been on every show, been on Ellen. He's been visiting elementary schools. He's been doing concerts, festivals, all of this thing. So no new artist has done that. What he's done is crazy. So I can understand why this man might need a break.
And I was listening to some other interviews he was doing. I think especially the one where he was on the Shop LeBron James show on HBO, and you could tell the look on his face that he was tired. Like he was, it's draining to be the number one guy, and then on top of that, you throw his personal situation in as far as his sexuality. It's like now he's the face and the brand of that as well, especially in hip hop or country music as well. Right. And I think you could just tell like he's still a young kid. Like I think Old Town Road was like what, a year
older than that,
before, or at least 2 years before it even popped. So all this is new to him, like very, very new.
Very new.
And he probably just got enough money to be like, look, I'm good, I'm cool for right now. I'll come back if I need to, but this is just way too much.
Come back.
Yeah, I agree. I do think that there's a lot required of new artists, and he has seen more success than most new artists. But nowadays, if you got to be on social media, people are looking for you there. You're doing the circus that you would usually do as far as interviews. People are just looking for you everywhere. It's constant interaction. People are constantly doing podcasts, and there's all type of content out there. So I do feel like new artists get burnt out a little quicker now than they would, and not even just a big star like Lil Nas X. I would take it, and we'll get into this when we start reviewing the album. I would look at DaBaby. He's not taking a break, but I could use a break from him. And it ain't because he's done anything wrong.
So we know how he felt about that.
It ain't because he's done anything wrong. It's just like I see him. But look, though, it's because I see him so much as a headline, whether it's a fight in the Louis store or seeing his security knocked out some girl because she touched him, Meg Thee Stallion. And like I say,
it wasn't a girl, but go ahead.
It was a girl that they hit.
No, he pushed a girl, knocked out a dude.
Oh, okay, cool. But even Meg Thee Stallion, you start seeing these people a lot because so much is required from them. They can't just put music out and then kind of disappear in the background like it used to be back in the day. If I put a good project out, I could at least take 4 or 5 months out. Now, if I put a good project out, you want to hear from me in the next month or two. Okay, what are you doing on Instagram? What are you dating? What are all these things that go into a number one artist nowadays? And not to say that those things didn't exist back in the past, but I feel like there's a lot more effort put into the outside stuff that drains people, that pulls away from people. You brought up the LBGTQ Cube stuff with Lil Nas X. He's the face of that. I'm sure that's draining in itself to have to go not only talk about a #1 song, but now people want to talk about your sexuality on TV in front of people doing all of these things. That definitely can be draining. I think it's a lot on new artists, and some record labels are going to have to start looking at how to scale back because it's becoming a lot too soon, and then you're on to the next one.
Well, how are you determining an artist burning out?
Well, he said he's taking a break.
No,
I said I'm burnt out on them, and that was my prelude into
separate.
this. No, it's the same.
He's saying because he's burned out, they gotta be burned out.
They have to be. They gotta be tired. And like
survey says that is incorrect.
No, my point would be everybody can't take time off because everybody hasn't been as successful as Lil Nas X. Megan may feel like he feels. DaBaby may feel like he feels, but their album hasn't been #1 for 10 weeks. So I got to keep grinding because I'm the new artist.
No, I get that part.
Keep pushing.
I get that part. What I'm saying to you is, only time I will say that an artist is burned out is they give you an indication that they're burned out.
Yeah.
Megan and DaBaby are not giving us any indication.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, I think it's mentality with the new artist. It depends on how and when you popped. Okay. Like Lil Nas X, it seemed like they just plucked the song out of nowhere and just threw it up on #1. Boom. With Megan Thee Stallion and DaBaby, you've been grinding. You've known their grind, for a long time, and it's to some people it was long overdue for them to be at this point right now. So it's just like that's why they keep going and they can keep doing it because like I've been doing this for a while, so I'm gonna keep doing it. Lil Nas X, you could tell this dude is just fresh off his mama's basement making that record and shit like that, and that's why when he's thrown into all these different situations, he's just like eyes wide open, like I don't know what's going on, so I need to take a break right now, recoup, get myself together, and then I'm back at it again. With Megan Thee Stallion and DaBaby, they gonna keep going until the wheels fall off.
Yeah. I don't see any. Like I said, I can definitely understand why Lil Nas X needs to take a break. But as far as the burnout from artists, if I don't see it, then I can't say that's what's happening. Now you can. You can assume. Yeah, but I can't say.
Well, even with like I said, they may not mention it, and I'm being facetious when I say I'm tired of them, but just the demand that's required in the game now. And then just like you said, it depends on when you came out, the adjustments that you make and how you present yourself. But you didn't have to you always hear older artists say, oh man, if social media was around when I was here, I may not have made it. Think about that in a sense of people have to put on a constant face when you're in the public eye. Like, they don't ever get a chance to turn that off. You don't ever get a chance not to be Megan Thee Stallion because somebody always running up to you with their phone like, oh, hi, girl, summer, let me drive the boat, bitch. Let me take a picture. Yeah. You getting that all the time.
But you can't be mad at that.
I ain't saying mad at it. I'm just saying you can be burnt out.
Some artists bask in that, though. That's what they enjoy.
Yeah,
so we don't,
and it's also in this world, in the day and age, it's out of sight, out of mind. If we have all these devices that we can tune in and connect with anybody across the world, so of course, if I want to be popping, I got to be in as many phones, as many as avenues as possible, just to get my record heard. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, well,
true.
That's good.
Good discussion, guys.
Yeah, for sure. We have one more topic before we get to this music break.
Okay.
Looks like we're getting a peek behind the curtain for all those who wanted to wait and see what Jay-Z and the NFL partnership will look like. We got a glance over the weekend as the Super Bowl performances have been announced. And being in Miami, they will go with J-Lo and Shakira.
Wow, that's
for
great.
the game in Miami. So what do you guys think about the acts?
I think it's brilliant.
It's brilliant.
I think it's brilliant. Just for the fact of this is what I wish Jay-Z had this deal when the Atlanta Super Bowl was happening. Because to me, I know me, Spike. We already had a discussion about this. But to me, I'm giving Jay-Z the benefit of the doubt. I'm giving him a full year to see what he does with this initiative. But as far as these Super Bowl performers, I think it's brilliant. As far as J-Lo and Shakira, like this is Miami. This is a big Hispanic population and culture down there, and those are probably the two biggest stars of the last.
That looks fantastic.
20 years. And who doesn't want to see them perform?
Shout out to the people of color, man.
Now, I know
they're going to be
women.
And
they are.
They're going to be special guests on this lineup too. Like every Super Bowl
it's always special guests.
Ross may show up. Pitbull may show up.
We got to wait and see. Okay.
Pitbull probably going to be in it.
So we're still waiting.
He got to
be. I heard this and I was more confused about the partnership than even when I started because I thought the initiative was around hip hop music, Jay-Z bringing that look to the NFL, that being kind of a bridge.
Did Jay-Z say that?
And Jay-Z didn't say shit.
So
Jay-Z didn't say shit because of the press releases and everything that was surrounding. So I'm not saying that Jay-Z is wrong or anything for picking these people. I just find it to be more confusing if we thought that this stuff was, or Jay-Z was brought on to be hip-hop oriented, or to bring hip-hop or give that taste to the NFL to kind of mend the fences that were broken with the capital.
But why are you putting Jay-Z in that box?
I'm so confused.
Why would I hire Jay-Z to bring in Shakira and J-Lo?
Because Jay-Z's over music in general.
Yeah. That was the first part that we broke down. Was like he's over music. The initiative is the second part.
Yeah, it's two different things.
And being that it's in Miami, it's cool to bring in J-Lo and Shakira.
Why not?
Right. Okay.
I don't understand the. I saw all this outrage on social media. I saw Uncle Luke. Come on, man. Listen, man.
Uncle Luke was hollering.
We get it. Y'all want Trick Daddy and Trina on stage. Y'all want
Russ.
I get it. Y'all want I understand that, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be hip hop all the time.
That's what I mean.
And that's what makes Jay-Z smart about this decision, is because people expected him to do what you guys are talking about. And he said, no, I'm going to do this for the Latino community. It's in Miami. Everybody, people love J-Lo. People love Shakira. It's a good win for the audience in general overall.
And J-Lo's hot right now. She's trying to get an Oscar right now based off that movie.
I don't want to see Trick Daddy old ass on stage. I'd rather see J-Lo on stage.
All right, so nobody wants to see Trick Daddy. Right?
Yeah.
Shout out to Trick Daddy. Love him.
I love Trick Daddy, but nobody's trying to see Trick Daddy for. So what is Luke mad about? He want the city girls to be on stage?
I'm going to tell you what Luke is mad about. I'm going to tell you why.
It's a PG-13 audience.
I'll tell you why people are disappointed, right? If Jay-Z wasn't in the position to be criticized for this, if he hadn't got that seat with the NFL to be over this, to pick these J-Lo and Shakira,
to pick these veterans,
in the music games that are Miami natives, and it makes all the sense in the world. Miami music natives. They make Miami music is what I meant. A toddler could have made this decision. I'm not taking anything away from Jay-Z.
You are taking it away from him. You just said a toddler.
I want to know, why am I bringing Jay-Z in to do what the NFL would have did anyway?
You don't know that.
Of course, this like y'all said, this is a layup, dude. I don't bring Jay-Z in to do layups. I don't bring Jay-Z in to go for the norm. Roger Goodell could have told you, and I'm sure he knows shit about music. Are we doing a Super Bowl in Miami? Let's bring out J-Lo and Shakira. Oh, great job, Commissioner. You're absolutely right. Why do I pay Jay-Z all of this money to come in and do what anybody could have done then?
First of all, you don't know what they pay Jay-Z, number one.
A lot.
Number two,
I know Jay-Z not moving for the NFL for less than a certain amount.
Listen. Number two, I understand, me being a minister of culture myself, I understand the position that Hov is in. And number three, you guys are trying to incorporate other issues into this decision.
No, the only issue that I'm incorporating. Okay, take it too long.
I mean, you just screamed and yelled like an old man here. My whole point is that how can people be upset with this decision? Jay-Z just started.
Exactly.
When are you gonna let this man? You have to let it
because
take its course.
People keep saying, "Wait and see, wait and see."
Yeah, he just started a month ago.
It's very clear how this is about to play out, dude. Like they didn't need Jay-Z to do any of this.
You're very pessimistic on this.
Yeah, exactly. Your assumption is.
Do I have any reason to be optimistic about this?
You do, because
at the very least, when this comes out, you should have had a surprise. Well, dude, if Jay-Z is over my Super Bowl and my music for the biggest game, J-Lo and Shakira, like y'all said, anybody could have did that. So what am I paying Jay-Z for?
No, you said that.
First of all,
y'all said that.
Jay-Z is a part of NFL's rebranding as far as trying to move into a positive direction. This is their 100th year.
Perfect.
They're trying to celebrate all that.
Perfect.
Jay-Z, you don't know if they even try to contact J-Lo and them before the Jay-Z deal, and they probably turned them down. And then because of Jay-Z, they're like, let me listen to what he got to say. This may be a good look. They might be trying to really do some change within the NFL as well.
They may be trying to do some change. Okay, so they weren't answering the call before Jay-Z got there. So we're paying Jay-Z for his Rolodex, right?
So what did they have?
I just want to know.
That's a part of it. That's a part of it. His connections are a big part of it.
They're not answering the call if Jay-Z's not there, probably. So I say that's a layup. But he's getting it off reputation, right?
Probably.
So what do they get? What do Jay get in return from the NFL? Are we still waiting to see? They paid him for his reputation. He's coming through. So what's the end game on his part?
See, that's the thing. I don't think you're ever going to be satisfied.
It's not about satisfaction.
If they have the Super Bowl in
it's
North Carolina next year and J. Cole performs,
shout out to my guy Tariq. It's about tangibles.
Let me ask you this question.
Tangibles 2020.
Let me ask you this question. Just based off his title, as the music,
right?
Guy who puts it all together. The Super Bowl's in Miami. He got one of the biggest acts in music culture, especially in that area. Did he do his job well? As much as you want to say that anybody, but did he do his job well?
He did his job average.
Okay, how is it average?
If somebody brings me in to to make change in their organization. If people bill me, if my billable hours are, hey, we're gonna bring you in because you bring.
Why you keep
culture.
focusing on the money? We're talking about the show itself.
It's about money.
It's
so
about the show.
All right, I'll get to the point then. So if people bring me in and they bill me for my whatever expertise that it is, and my expertise is music, right? And the whole room knows that this obvious answer is right there, and all I do is come in and point to the obvious answer on the board. What did I do?
So let me ask you a question.
Did you listen to my? What do I do?
Yeah, listen, it doesn't matter.
Okay, exactly.
What would have made you happy?
What have made me happy?
Yeah, what Super Bowl performance would have made you happy?
He don't want Jay-Z to do the deal in general.
No,
that would have made me happy.
Yeah, but the deal is done.
That would have made me happy.
The deal is done. We
So
can't
he's
change
never
that.
gonna be happy.
Okay. So what would have made you happy with the Super Bowl?
A surprise. Something that would not have happened.
He want Rhapsody to
So you
host.
don't have anybody in mind?
Look, they don't pay me to do this. They pay Jay-Z to do this.
But you said it's a layup, so you could have done exactly.
I could have done that.
Okay.
They didn't pay me to do that. They paid Jay-Z to do that. But I'm saying if they're paying Jay-Z to do whatever, it should at least be surprising to me. Something that I didn't think of. Something like, God damn, Jay-Z pulled a rabbit out of his hat. I'm not giving you anything because the NFL ain't paying me shit.
Because the
NFL ain't paying me shit. They paid Jay-Z.
This is a brilliant move.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense. We know there's gonna be surprises that's gonna show up on
Jay-Z
stage.
could have had the whole Rock Nation roster up there. You still would have been upset.
That would have been surprising.
He would have called them all
And
sellouts.
I would have said he did his job. That would have been surprising.
So if you had Rihanna and J. Cole up there, that would have been surprising.
That would have been very surprising.
Okay.
Because I wouldn't have expected a J. Cole halftime performance or Rihanna, to be honest with you, because she's pregnant.
She's what?
Yeah, I'm just joking.
Oh.
Move on. I was gonna say it was with your baby.
I'm
I'm
gonna pull
like,
up on
hell
somebody.
no.
We're gonna start with our first music break. This is a new song off the new album from Kevin Gates called "By My Lonely." Check it out. And we are back. That was Kevin Gates by My Lonely. What you guys think of that record?
I like that, man. Kevin Gates came back strong with a vengeance. Kevin Gates is a very personable artist. You know, he talks very deeply on his songs about himself as far as what he got going on. And I like that. I like being able to listen to an artist's music and not have to go to their Instagram to find out about him. So I fuck with the song.
I thought it was good. I put Kevin Gates in the same line as Wiz. Like they have a certain pocket that they fit in the subject area that they just know and hit well. But at the same time, I'm not always checking for them. So this did remind me of, like, you know, the music that they play behind Madden. So, but it was a good record.
So you like that record?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mxtra takes it personal if you don't like his record. So.
No, I like it.
No, it's not a bad record.
You liked it, right?
Yeah.
But
You liked it?
Hey, people like what they like. That's what I always say. Yeah, I really like the record. I'm a fan of Kevin Gates, but I'm also under the notion that he is hit or miss for me sometimes.
perfectly said. That's where I'm.
Yeah. And but I definitely like this record, and actually I really like the project. It surprised me last week. I wasn't going to listen to it at first. I wasn't going to rush to listen to it. Let me say that. But I like the project, and I definitely like this record. It definitely stood out for me. He got that kind of melody, kind of flow with his deep, raspy voice, so it works well over the beat. So yeah.
I agree. So dope. Let's move into the KIRK album.
Yes.
DaBaby dropped an album over the weekend, the much anticipated, long awaited KIRK album.
Yep.
Cover was dope. Nigga looked just like his daddy.
I thought that was him. I was like with his kid or something. I'm like, damn.
Right.
Crazy.
That nigga looked just like
Only
his
like
daddy.
Ha Davis a little bit.
That's cold right there. Tough. So
That's funny.
we got to take it in over the weekend, sit ride with it, and did our thing with this KIRK album. You guys tell me, what did you expect coming into the debut album from the hottest artist in the game right now?
I had high expectations for this album. DaBaby has been on fire since the beginning of the year. Probably late last year, maybe. He's been on fire, and our co-host, who usually sits in his chair, has been high on DaBaby the whole year. So we got to shout out to Animal Brown for calling it. So I had high expectations for this album. Now, were they fulfilled? We will get into that, but I definitely had high
expectations. What you think?
I
Nick?
was I went in there with no expectations.
No expectations. From the hottest rapper in the game.
Yeah, just for the fact that I've heard bits and pieces, but I like to hear full projects.
Okay.
And even though he did drop that his first project with the one with the hit Suge on there, I was just like, I need to hear something else. I got to hear that, you know, that sophomore, see if he can, you know, that sophomore year, see if he can match the freshman breakout year. Well, we can get into it, but I definitely like this project.
Yeah, the earlier project you're talking to was referring to is called Baby on Baby.
Yeah, Baby on Baby.
Yep.
That's the one.
Suge on that?
Yep.
Oh, okay. He should have put it on here. Surprise. My expectations, I was kind of growing tired of, like I say, not hating on his talent or anything like that. I wish him as much success as he can possibly get from the rap game. Me personally, though, it was a lot coming into it, so I really wasn't expecting to be able to sit through this album and walk away and be like, oh, okay, I love this project.
What do you mean it was a lot?
Just I feel like the marketing for DaBaby
was a lot of hype.
Yeah, I feel like it was a lot. I feel like I said earlier, we heard every weekend about a fight or something that happened so people could validate that he was real. And I don't really
think he planned to fight?
I don't know.
I disagree with you on that marketing.
I don't know. I don't know if he planned to fight. I'm just saying,
I disagree with you on that marketing scheme because I think he backed it up with records. And that's why I was intrigued by this project.
Scheme. I'm not saying that he was trying to fool anybody, because I do think that he's an authentic dude. I think that for lack of better words, he a real nigga. I give him that. But I think that I'm a real nigga was pushed a little bit more than it had to be, because they wanted people to fall into that. So that's all I'm saying. So my expectations, like I said, I was a little tired of him, but I do recognize his ability. He's very good at what he does. As far as like that style, I compare him to a new age Ludacris or Plies or something like that. They have their own unique type lane. You won't see them twice. So that's what I think. So with that being said, as I get into the album, the intro was complete fire. I was totally surprised.
That surprised me
Just
too.
initial takeaways. We're going to talk about these.
Initial takeaways, we get right into this. And then mine was the intro. The intro was fucking fire because he was a lot more personable than I've ever heard him being.
That's one of my points.
And that's one of the things, like if you say that's one of your points, we can talk about it a little bit now. Just listening to this album, what I would say is I listened to this whole album and I listened to that Kevin Gates afterwards. I knew more about Kevin Gates after his first 8 bars than I listened to all 14 songs of DaBaby. And that's a problem if you're gonna sustain this.
Really?
It's cool to be able to be a good rapper, but it's a problem if I listen to your music and I feel like I'm hearing the same shit over 7 tracks.
Look, okay. Going into that, because I agree and I disagree with that, because he starts off the album. How many times do you hear black men in rap talk about their fathers in the way that he did with his? To even have a father in his life. Yeah, and that surprised me the way he said it. Then he was like, I'm preaching in this.
Yeah.
But at the same time, after that track, there was 3 songs that you could have. They all sounded the same.
Same bars, same cadence. I'm gonna just run this verse back for the third verse.
And that's the thing about, and I'm gonna get into this about this album. When I heard that first song, it caught my attention. So I'm like, because I love when an artist is personable.
Yeah.
I love when they get in, let us know who they are from a sense.
Especially a newer artist.
Right. And that's what separates great.
That's why
from average.
Yeah, the beginning album is so good.
Yeah, and that's what separates great artists from average artists. It's because they get personal. And so that drew me in. So that, and we talk about initial takeaways. That drew me in. But then after that, I was searching for the rest of the album.
Exactly.
And it's like the rest of the album were previous. So after I listened to this album, what I did was I went back and listened to all his other recent albums. I went back and listened to Baby on Baby, Blank Blank, and I listened to Back on My Baby Jesus shit. I listened to all those, and it was a recurring theme that a lot of this sounded the same. All of it. And I'm like, I couldn't tell which. It's a problem when I can't tell which album I'm listening to.
Oh, okay, I get you.
You see what I'm saying? And that's what hindered this album. And then the same thing is, we'll get into that. But go ahead.
No, I was gonna say at the same for me, this album should have been 10 tracks. It should have been 13. Even though I did it was short and sweet for the most part.
We'll get into the lowlights.
Yeah.
Okay, but your point by it being 10 tracks.
Well, just because from 5 through 13, I thought they all hit. I thought they was fire, especially because of the artist that DaBaby is. I thought he fit in all those beats, all those verses, the guest verses. It was just perfect. Like to me, if he would
perfect
like that because to me, I judge albums based off of the artist itself and their style. I don't try to go far.
So from 5 to 13, so from Pop Star to the last song,
I thought it was all fire.
Oh wow,
Jesus Christ!
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Age differences coming out here, folks.
So, and that leads us to our next one. What is some? We can start with you since you just gave us a hot take. What's some standout tracks for you?
The standout, two of the standout tracks, definitely is I like Probably Heard, Raw Shit with Migos.
Wow.
Definitely like Pop Star with Kevin Gates. Speaking of Kevin Gates, that was a good verse from him.
Dope verse.
Yeah.
And then the gospel, I could have done without the Nicki iPhone record, but it made sense for what he's trying to do as far as being more mainstream.
Number one streaming record on iTunes and Tidal. It's iPhone.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
So
shout out to Nicki Minaj being the fucking queen that she is. Goddamn.
in retirement.
Yeah. I would give her roses. Goddamn.
I'm not touching that.
Yeah.
If we're gonna talk about songs to take away from the intro, amazing.
Yep.
Like I say, you brought up a good point when you say I heard it at the beginning, it locked me in, and then I was looking forward the rest of the album.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to know more about. Like
sure.
I have no idea about his dad passing right before the album or the song came. I didn't know any of those things because I don't follow him.
How
on social
much do
media.
you need to know though?
But
Like,
see-
Well, it makes me draw in as a
Yeah.
fan, and an example that I would give you when you say how much do you need to know, I feel like J. Cole did a perfect job with 2014 as far as being personable, and that's when he took off to stardom.
Yeah.
Like before then, it was a very surface artist. I feel like J. Cole was, but then 2014, he lost a lot of the shit that really, I guess, didn't make him happy, and he kind of alluded to what drove him as an artist.
did you listen to
and
Born
I ate
Center?
that up. Yeah. But I still feel like that the Born Center compared to 2014, and we're going to stop talking about Cole, those two in comparison, 2014 is a lot more of a Cole album. I feel like Born Center is a Rock Nation album of what they think Cole should be.
See, for me,
I saw the transition at Morris Center. So, but go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say
He grew up on Born Center. Yeah, there were songs on there, but that 2014 is an album full of that.
And the reason why I say this Kirk album, minus those 3 songs in the top half of the album, is fire, and it showed me a lot about him, is because he has staying power now. Like there's certain artists that drop their second project, you could tell like they not gonna be here for that much longer.
I completely disagree. I listened to this and I was wondering what his next, how he's going to stay around.
Yeah. And so how do you
I
not
don't
like
get it.
2 through 4? But I mean,
Hold
but
on,
like
let
the
me
rest of the album,
let me
I don't
finish telling
understand.
you
They
what
all
I-
sound.
Let me
similar
finish
to
telling
me.
you what I like. The intro, of course, was banging. I like Bop. That was a pretty cool and pretty cool. I ain't even gonna talk about that gospel song. Jesus
Yeah, the
Christ.
gospel song was not it for me.
There He Go, probably heard in XXL. XXL
Yeah.
was fire. I
Yeah.
love that. And I love that beat, the whistling beat with Moneybagg Yo
Yeah,
and
yeah.
DaBaby. I think that beat
Toes.
was fire.
Yeah.
That beat was fire.
Yeah,
And I like when they do different things like
Yeah.
that. So those are my favorites. Those are some of my best
Yeah.
as far as takeaways. What you have?
For me, it's the intro for sure. Double XL, the Pop Star record, the Moneybagg record, Toes,
Moneybagg ripped it. Too.
and that's as far as I got.
Well,
You cut it off after that?
No, I'm saying those are my standout records.
Dang.
2, 3, and 4 all have similar beats, and when y'all was
Yeah.
talking about as far as
I didn't
him
know when
sounding
the
the same,
song changed.
that's the issue that I can agree
Yeah.
with you on that. Outside of that, the beats definitely switch up a little bit, and the verses kind of bring something a little bit different to those records that he was that he
Right.
put on the project. That's why I like that, like especially like raw shit. Like I don't know, I like nigga shit. You know what I'm saying? This is a nigga album for real. Like this is something that you're gonna bump it with when you're on your way to the club or you trying to get some, something else outside the club. So
The Rock, what's that Migos song?
yeah,
That wasn't nothing.
what?
That's young. It gotta be young nigga shit. I'm
fuck with
all
it.
for that.
It was all right. It was cool. It was cool. Which leads us into the lowlights of the album. And I'll start off with my lowlights for this album. One of my lowlights is, and this is another thing of why I went back to listen to his previous projects, they all are around 30 minutes. All of his projects. All of them. And I hate that.
Why?
I hate that. It's
too short?
It's way too short. It's like I can make a drive from here to Buckhead and I'll be done. I don't want. It's like microwave music to me. I need, and they're doing it intentionally.
Yeah.
But for this type of artist, that's what you
But
need.
don't tell me that. I don't care what type of artist he is. Because if you're really an artist, you can give me a 5-minute song. You can give me a 4-minute. Now I'm not saying we need those songs.
Yeah.
But don't make this album is clocked in. Where does it clock in at?
They clock in at like 35 minutes.
35 minutes.
13 songs, 35 minutes.
35 minutes. That is way too short.
I get your point.
That is way too short. And there's one before that. The Baby on Baby. Let's see when it clocked in. 13 songs, 32 minutes.
I think
It's a recurring thing with him.
I get your point as far as them trying to manipulate you to run it back.
Yeah.
Like, let me run it back now.
Yeah, let me
like don't make it short. Just like, damn, let me
But
run it
don't
back
we
to make
always-
sure I didn't like that.
Don't we always talk about like with the Chance album, too
Okay.
long, too many songs.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
it
You have to
wasn't
find that perfect.
And I think for DaBaby, this is the best.
I
he was
can't
gonna
have
be.
nothing. The only album that was under 45 minutes, I don't even think it's under 45 minutes. That's a perfect album. Is that Pusha T album?
Yeah, that Daytona was fire.
Other than that, if your album is under 45
I feel
minutes,
like-
I can't.
But you
For
always
a
want
debut album with an artist with the background that DaBaby had, I feel like a perfect template is Nipsey's Victory Lap. Perfect length, perfect features, perfect like giving you enough of me as to where you know me a long enough time where I still got new information in here. And DaBaby's like he said, it's just microwave.
So fast.
Like,
But look how long. But look how long it took Nipsey to get there. You know what I'm
DaBaby
saying?
been doing his thing for
But
like 8
he's
years.
not that deep.
But we're talking about this album.
I understand that, but I'm just saying. But he's still a new art. He's
He
still
should be there,
He's
is
still
my
finding
point, though.
himself. He's
He
just
should
now
be-
opening to
But what's
everybody.
the excuse for it being short?
He should be at that point.
This is over before you started. Like it's like it's over. Like I'm cleaning the house. Boom, this shit is over before I get to the living room.
Yeah, that's true.
It ain't meant for you to clean the house. It's meant for you
I'm
to
just
go
saying,
to the club. That 35 minutes you going to Buckhead. You going to
Go
the
to the club. I go to the bar and back to the floor. It's over with from this. It's over with. I go to the restroom. It's over with when I come back.
All right, it's a short
Nah,
album. What
okay.
else?
So
What
my
other
other
lowlights
lowlights
do you have?
is and what I mentioned earlier was the running. A lot of songs sounded similar to me.
Yes.
And I think it's the production that he uses. I think he uses the same guy for the most part. Jason made another one. All of it sounds. I cannot differentiate any Baby project from one another. So if I go to Apple Music or Tidal right now and I just click play on a Baby,
You
and
wouldn't
let
know if
all
it's
the
old
songs,
or new.
I wouldn't know what is old. I wouldn't know what album it's from because all of them sound.
You don't hear
the
no
same.
progression with
Yeah,
it.
I don't hear it. I thought the intro was a progression.
Yeah, I
we were
did.
getting there.
He fooled the shit out of us with
I
the
wasn't.
intro.
I was.
He mentions other deep things.
This is just a fun album.
No, he got moments, but
Yeah.
I'm talking about like I would go back to Kevin Gates' album. Like this is Kevin Gates' 5th, 6th, 7th time at the turn, and I still hear stuff that I didn't know. Or at least he's good enough. Like what happened to telling stories in hip hop?
Yeah.
Like DaBaby is he's articulate
now
enough.
you putting
and
other
he-
things on him.
But
Yeah.
I just want.
He's not that artist.
I want to
He's
be.
not that artist.
I want to be entertained though. Entertain.
No, this is
me.
entertaining album.
There's different ways to be
Not to me.
entertained.
Yeah.
Not to me. My lowlights are.
I want-
Oh damn! You still shitting on this album?
No, I'm not
God,
saying.
get a man a chance.
I said the length and things down, so I did say everything,
Okay.
but it wasn't.
Pause.
Yeah.
What I would say for my lowlights is I guess it's maybe me being an old nigga, but that doubling up shit at the end of the verse, like the shit that he already said at the beginning, and then you playing it again on the way. I don't like that. And he did it like on 8 songs. Like he'll play the whole first verse over, and it just that don't sit well with me. I feel like it's lazy. So even on top of it being short, a lot of this shit is doubled up on the songs. That was a couple of lowlights for me. I did not like the Chance and Gucci Man song. I get what they were trying to do by mixing it up.
Negator.
Trash.
I hate that. This one.
God,
Skip.
Skip. That was trash. And the length of it too, man. Like
Pause.
it was just true. The length and the personability, like being personable, like letting me know who DaBaby is. That's what your first album is reserved for. That's why
That's a good
Reasonable
point.
Doubt is
That's a
good.
good point.
That's why Ready to Die is good. These Get Rich or Die Trying, like these artists, they gave themselves in these albums, these first albums, and you learned a little bit about them.
You just
I
named
don't get that from
two
him.
like bona
This nigga
fide
the hottest
classics
nigga
of
in the
all time.
game, though.
You can't expect that from
Any first album, name any first album where a nigga ain't at least giving you some depth as to who
that's true.
he is.
Cole
Name
first album
one
did that.
first album where that don't happen, and it don't happen here. And I prayed that
What about
like,
Wayne's first album?
the 400 Degrees,
Yeah. Where's it 500?
500 Degrees. I mean, he had
No.
a couple
Exactly.
songs.
It took
Okay,
how long
you know
did it take
what?
Wayne
That's
to
a good
get
point.
to be
This
personable?
is the dude. Wayne is that way too. Like Wayne can go in there and it really don't gotta have a subject. I'm just rapping. I'm giving you
He doesn't have a
bars.
subject a lot of times.
But
The
then-
baby's the same way. I'm
Yeah.
just giving you bars.
Yeah, and the
that
same
ain't
thing.
like,
Bend a
you know
bitch
what I'm
over, fuck her from the back.
Yeah, it's too
It's like
early.
the same-
Oh,
like,
my bitch think I'm Norbit. Like, come
Yeah.
on, bro. Like, it's funny.
Oh, that was
it's
a
cool.
terrible line, by the way. That's one of my low lights.
But it's
too.
funny.
The Norbit line was
You never
trash.
spit. You never spit his bars a cappella. There's certain rappers you just don't spit.
He's
Drake is one of them as
That-
well.
the
That
baby's
Norbit
definitely-
line was
you're
one of
right.
the worst lines. That's probably one of the worst lines since I heard Lil Flip treat you like milk, do nothing but spoil you. That's the worst line I heard since that.
Tell the P and get off on that, too. That's funny as hell. All right, so we
y'all-
got what were your
y'all-
lowlights?
The lowlights was 2, 3, and 4. Just for y'all
Okay.
point as far as it
Gotcha.
being too much of the same. But everything else, I think
Yeah.
you just gotta be in the mindset
Yeah.
I was in. It fit that, and it exceeded my expectations
Yeah.
for that.
And we can go ahead and get to the ratings of this album. Now, as much shit that I talked about the album, that's because of my expectations. However, the album itself was not that bad. It wasn't bad. Like it's not a trash album at all. It's a moment album. It's a vibe album. Like if I'm going out, I'm getting ready to do something, this is a good album. You know what I'm saying? If I'm going out to the club or a strip club or something, this is a good album. It's a fun album. It's a summer album.
Exactly.
So with that being said, I will rate this album 3.5. 3.5 reels.
3.5 reels. If I had to rate this album on our classic hip hop rating scale, 3.5, by the way, is banging. If I had to rate it on our classic scale, easy for me to say, I'm gonna say 2.5. It's some little cool.
Wow.
Just some little cool to run it. Oh, okay, DaBaby had an album. Boom. What's next? So I'm gonna go 2.5.
2.5 means
1 to
trash.
5, Nick. What you got?
So based off y'all rating scale, I'm gonna go 3.5.
Yeah.
But if I got the Dusse in me, it's a 4.
Oh man, so
it's a 4.
you going banging / fire?
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I gave it 3.5. I was teetering between 3 and 3.5.
I
I was a little underwhelmed.
Well, because you
Because
said you
I had high
high
expectations.
expectations. See, I always go in most albums with low expectations.
Okay, gotcha.
So,
All right, so there you have
The
it.
intro gave me high expectations.
There you have it. That's
what it
our
was.
review of the KIRK album by DaBaby. We appreciate you guys joining in this segment. What's the song break, sir?
Yes, the next song we have up is from Young M.A. This is called No Mercy, the intro to her latest project.
Talk about a disappointment.
What? Oh, yeah, and we're back. That was Young M.A. No Mercy, intro to her latest project.
I liked it. I liked the intro. I think she did her thing, similar to DaBaby's intro. Very personable. Young M.A. was talking her shit. I like when she talk her shit. I ain't checked out the album yet, so I don't know what that sounds like, but I like this song.
she's good at setting the tone for most of her projects. So it was definitely what I expected.
Yeah.
But after that, yeah,
I haven't listened.
It's a wrap after that.
It's a wrap.
Oh damn! I haven't. And the name of her latest project is Her Story in the Making. If you were wondering, and this is the intro off of that album. I haven't listened to the whole album, but the intro is fire. But you said the album is not.
At least for me.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll
I
get
don't know
around.
if you got high expectations for her album either. But
Definitely not. Don't have high. And that's no shot at Young M.A.
That's a big shot.
I haven't seen. I haven't heard her rap in a while, so I don't have
Yeah.
ultimately high expectations. She's not on. DaBaby is on fire right now. That's why I had high expectations for him.
All right. So, in closing, there's a question of the week that we have. Jeezy recently came out and said that he put out subpar work in order to fulfill his contracts and be able to get freedom in the music industry. My question to you guys, is it fair or foul that Jeezy put out subpar work just to fulfill his contract obligations? This was submitted by an IG follower. Animal Brown did not submit your name, so you blame him for that. There's just a dead link next to it. So we will shout you out next week, but it was definitely a great question. Fair or foul from Jeezy?
foul as hell.
Foul as hell.
Foul as hell. For an artist of Jeezy's caliber, for being this long in the game, to have that as your excuse, like, come on, man.
It's a convenient excuse, right? Didn't we know? Like, couldn't we tell? Church in the streets.
Church, to me, that's where his career went off on the wrong path with Church in the Streets. Because I think he was trying to be more positive, trying to be, going to
growing up.
He was trying to be like T.I. is. Like, he grew up to this level. Like, he was doing the trap shit. Now he's elevated to another level. And niggas did not respond well to Church in the Streets. That's why he came out with the Trap or Die 3 right after
Church in the
that.
Streets is better than Trap or Die 3.
Exactly. So my thing is, I don't think he knows what's going on right now as far as his career, and he's just like putting.
He
things
knows
out.
what's going on now. He done.
He knows it's the end.
He know 100% what's going on.
Well, I'm just
now.
saying for him, like he don't
Right.
know where else is he going. He's like that athlete who's playing ball all his life, and now he got to retire. The league retired.
So if we're being specific, we're probably talking about Church in the Streets, Trap or Die 3, Pressure. You gonna throw TM104 in there? Is that what we're gonna do?
You really shouldn't even have to mention anything after Church in the Streets.
You
Church
can
in
throw
the
Streets was a fumble. That nigga
You ain't
had
like it
on-
at all?
That nigga thought he was Gaddafi. On
No, I think Church in the
What
Streets is slammed. It's not really that bad at all.
Yes, it is.
No.
It's not
that
for
bad.
real.
Yeah,
No, that's one of my favorite Jeezy songs ever on Church in the Streets.
It's that bad from the expectation that we had. The Seen It All was a good album.
Seen All was a good album.
Seeing all was very, very
Great songs, great singles. So,
good. Even TM 103 was good.
I don't think Jeezy surprised us announcing this, dog. We knew this. We knew Jeezy wasn't giving it his all after Seeing It All. I could tell with those 4 albums that he just dropped that he was trying to be done with music and move on to bigger
You
things.
didn't like the latest album? A little bit?
It was okay.
A little bit.
It wasn't nowhere near, like I say, the quality of what we expect from Jeezy, I don't think. I think that, we knew he was melting it in. At least I did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what would you think?
I think that's some bullshit from a standpoint as.
But I ain't mad at him for it, though.
I'm mad at him.
I ain't mad at him.
Well, you asked me what I thought. So
Okay.
Let me.
I wanted to get
answer
out my
that.
thoughts first.
From a fan's perspective, I think that should never happen from an artist. No matter how frustrated you get with your contract, I get it. You do some smart shit like Frank Ocean did, but don't just put out half-ass music and be like, oh, I'm just trying to do this, get out of contract. That's bullshit, and you doing your fans a disservice. And for him to admit that publicly, I mean, just shame on him for that. Yeah.
Especially for back-to-back projects like that. Like, for you to get out of video, that means that's multiple albums. Like, that means you just been like on some bullshit. Yeah. Trying to get us to buy, like, what if the people who really support Jeezy, like buying these albums, doing all this other shit?
And that's why you do a fans a disservice.
When nobody buying this shit. Y'all know that, man.
A lot of people bought it though. People bought it.
Nobody bought this shit, bro. Like Jeezy did what he had to do to get out them contracts. Maybe he gonna do some independent shit. So, that being said, let's move on to Ondeckers of the week, man.
Ondeckers, we got 2.
We got more than that, actually. So the Rap Chat's a fun place. Y'all go over to Facebook and join in on the conversation there. Recently, somewhere we'll put in the cover. I wish we had it for the TV here. They put up a picture of DMX in his best Shaft impersonation. DMX looks clean in his brand new GQ fit, but the jokes are 1,000,000% going to fly. If y'all know the DMX picture that I'm talking about, here are some comments. He looks like he's about to go hunt vampires, says Sonny DeRoe. The nigga look like he smelled like Newports and musk, said another person. I thought it was a photo shoot for his new movie. What new movie is that? The low-budget Shaft movie. He looks like your uncle that put a whole bottle of cologne on.
That's funny.
X looks good. He probably got a pocket full of scratch-offs.
That's funny, too.
I thought this motherfucker was the new Nick Fury. So, a lot of different jokes there. The first couple wasn't nothing. Okay.
But the scratch-off one, hilarious.
He looked like he's about to host a new show on the ID network about former crack smokers. Unsolved crackhead murders. DMX look like the next host of Unsolved Mysteries in the Hood. Thank everybody for participating in the DMX roast. We appreciate you guys joining the Rap Chat. So everybody,
DMX clean up, and you niggas ain't never satisfied.
You're going to get these. One thing about niggas, you're going to get these jokes, regardless of the situation.
Speaking of that, I'm about to pull up everybody who comment and clown y'all fits, because I know y'all are trash on there.
I cannot wait till the On Deck Army respond to you.
I know I'm going to call them. They can't blame me. I'm clean all the time.
Get them On Deckers. Y'all
post your fits.
Take the initiative, On Deckers, and flame Mxtra.
And make sure you're ready.
We appreciate you.
I want no private pages flaming me.
The way they cooking on that Facebook, they got to practice. Man.
Yeah, they got to practice.
It's Facebook. Okay, relax, guys. Relax.
We're gonna get to this new music. First, we're gonna start with the music we had come out last week. We had a few things come out last week that started with none other than DaBaby. We talked about that.
You gonna talk about Dame Dollar?
What?
The new music for the week, Dame Dollar.
Yeah, just let me finish. This is the third time doing that.
I'm trying to make it a habit.
We talked about DaBaby, Kevin Gates, Young M.A. Crazy Bone had an album come out last week called Nothing Left to Prove.
That's unfortunate.
Apparently has a lot left to prove.
Clearly.
And that's about it. So this week we are coming into October 4th. Danny Brown. No, I'm sorry. October, when is the 5th? Yeah, this Friday. Danny Brown is supposed to come out. And some group named Super BWE.
Jesus.
That's what we have coming out. Danny Brown's album is called You Know What I'm Saying. Are you guys familiar with Danny Brown?
Yeah.
No, who is that?
You know Danny Brown?
No.
I'm interested in that, actually. Because I think Q-Tip is doing the project.
Really?
Is he?
Danny Brown cleaned himself up,
He
right?
cleaned himself the fuck up.
Totally different.
I was never a fan of Danny Brown, ever. I just thought he was a clown, the way he would always act.
Yeah.
So it was annoying.
Looks real funny. You forgotten ATL new street album, excuse me. Long Money, Pee Wee Longway, and Money Man.
Is that coming out this week?
Yeah, it's out now.
Oh, it came out last week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they did that. I like Money Man.
I like
I'm
Money
not a big
Man.
fan of Pee Wee.
I fuck with Pee Wee.
Pee Wee Longway has a cult
Yeah, he does. They
following,
love
so
him. Yeah.
That's pretty decent.
I like
album.
Money Man.
Cool little street album. So y'all check that out.
Yeah.
It's called Long Money.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool title. All right, so that is episode 319 of the OndeckTV podcast. We wrap it up by asking, what are you doing for the weekend? See how I did that?
I don't know. I reminded you. I reminded you what you're doing this weekend.
We usually wrap it up by that. Mxtra, what do you got on deck for the weekend?
This weekend, I don't know what's going on this weekend.
Did all of that to say I don't know what I'm doing this weekend. Thanks, guy. We appreciate
I always do something.
that.
I'm not gonna be on the couch eating chips watching the boys.
I don't eat chips.
He's gonna be out with his boys.
Yeah, I'm gonna be out, man.
Chips.
I'm going out in these streets, man.
In these streets.
Yeah, I can't wait till this temperature drops. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
October, it's
Hot
about
as
90
shit
degrees.
last
Man,
weekend, right?
it's supposed to drop next week, like 10 degrees at least.
That's crazy.
I'm here for the hot weather. What you have up for this weekend?
I got some homies coming to town, celebrate their birthdays and shit.
Gotcha.
I got a lot of homies who have the same
You out
birthday
in these
month.
streets. Niggas be out in these streets,
Well,
man.
I be
seen
in the
IG
cut.
story last week, man. You was turned up.
Hey,
Birthday, Libras. Yeah, I got a birthday dinner coming up too. Yeah, so yeah, a lot of people having birthdays. Shout out to the Libras in the building.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I'm so emotional this weekend. I may go,
Oh, you don't say.
I may go for a swim, or something cool. I got my deck finished, man, so I ain't got to try it out yet. So I'm gonna try that out.
Are you gonna swim at home?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah. So,
You talking about you got the inflatable pool and all that?
Yeah, I just got the inflatable pool.
You don't want to go nowhere, but you on spin cycle. You so washed.
Cool. I love it.
Just make sure I add the Downy.
I
This
enjoy,
nigga super washed.
the fresh smell of Downy, nigga. It feels great. All right, so that's what we had up for the weekend, man. Animal Brown, we appreciate all of y'all sticking here with us. And y'all, like I say, send a shout out to Animal Brown.
Shout out to Animal Brown
reach
for
out
sure.
to him, master editor back there behind the boards.
Jiminique, what's going on?
We appreciate you for filling in for us. Nick, we appreciate you stepping in for us, man. Kept the conversation going.
Good brothers, and I always like to have conversations with y'all.
Of course,
Yeah,
of course.
Man, thank you, man. It's always a pleasure.
Yes, sir. Until next time, Mxtra, we out.
We out.
Peace.
Yeah.